Hey Aquarius, how you doing? Enjoying a little breathing room from all the heavy duty transformation. I'm sure that you are getting a nice reprieve having Pluto in Capricorn instead of you hosting it. I know you've been through a lot of big changes, and so we're here to see what's up ahead for you as you lead the charge to the Stone of Destiny. You are bringing on a whole new age of consciousness, Aquarius, and first it starts within you, right? So I feel like this is going to be a real good, juicy read. I think this is a read that a lot of people can benefit from to help us understand the energy we're all collectively moving into that will be firmly in place as of next summer. So a lot transforming here. This is for any significant Aquarius placement, or if you have a prominent placement in the 11th house. Also, if you're a Leo rising, that makes you an Aquarius descendant. And you can find resonance with this read. And as I said, collectively, we might all sense these winds of change that will ripple through the reading that we have come in here for Aquarius, since it is a collective energy. And that's interesting, the way that came in, the wind will ripple through. It makes me think of water. Both share similarities. Air and water both share similarities, right? They both have a flow. They both have a current. They both are subject to change at any moment. They both have a shape-shifting quality. They take on the form of the vessel that they're put within. Interesting how that's coming out. There might be a little mirroring energy that you're experiencing at this time between air and water, air signs and water signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. There might be reflecting points there. You might want to look at where you have air and water in your chart. Also the houses. Okay, so air sign energy, Gemini, third house, house of communication. Libra, seventh house, mergers, unions, marriages, committed love. Aquarius, you know all about your house, okay? The 11th house, networking, humanitarianism, collective consciousness, technology, connection, community, friends, okay? Similarities, actually, I have to say, with that house of Gemini. So communications are at the forefront for you right now. It's just coming in as an initial channel download here. I'm picking up a lot with your energy this evening. And then when we're looking at the water signs, Cancer, that's home. That's the mother, connection to home, the mother, the sense of belonging, fourth house energy. Scorpio, eighth house, transformation. You know about this. You know about this with Pluto about to enter your sign for a couple decade-long stay. It's going to be quite a ride carrying that energy. It's a big energy to be responsible for holding, for the collective to sort of lead the charge, so to speak, really embrace that full energy that is your archetype in the tarot. You share it with Aries, and interestingly enough, Aries is in the North Node position. So these dynamics coming into play, you might be doing some partnering with an Aries, actually. Air can feed the fire in a really good way. It's all about the proper balance, though, okay? Really interesting energy coming in here with you. Okay. But it is about the taboo, the hidden, the subconscious with that eighth house of Scorpio. It's also about transformation in the cycles of life, death, rebirth. It can be as well about inheritances, legacies, things left behind, things that outlive you, all right? And then when we're looking at Pisces, we're looking at the house of karma, we're looking at the house of the blind spot. We're also looking at taking in a more exalted view, a higher view, as well as hidden enemies. That's an interesting component, the mirroring energy there. See, because Libra's seventh house of relationships and unions is also the house of open enemies. Mirroring energy, you could be dealing with somebody that you know is really moving in opposition to you or is antagonistic towards you. And you could also be dealing with somebody that seems a helpful influence, but is actually a sabotaging influence. And sometimes that blind spot is within us, okay? So we'll get more details about this. But first, we're going to look at what path have you been on, Aquarius? Okay, there's already a lot that came in. So I feel like all that came in has something to do with the energy that is currently moving through your life. And it's sort of passing through, I feel, because you are about to sort of align with a new frequency here. So let's see, what is the path you've been on? Where are you coming from here, Aquarius? Bottom of the deck, trick or treat, a little mischief and play. I think some old ghosts were stirred up. I feel like there is this energy of being visited by the ghosts of the past. Sometimes, in some cases, these can be the ghosts of regret or the things that we don't squarely face, and so they kind of hang over our head and haunt us. I also feel like there's a little bit of the dancing with the devil and the taboo and playing with the dark side as well, because we do see that it's trick or treat. I do think you've been dealing with some tricky situations. You could have been dealing with a trickster, a hidden enemy, a frenemy, possibly. And maybe you've been trying to decide, am I looking at this person through the lens of all that stuff that haunts me from the past, the things I've been through before? Am I automatically assuming this is a replay of what's already been? Do I need protection from this person? When looking at the jack-o'-lanterns there, they are about protection, protection from what we consider malevolent forces, okay? I do think there's a little devilish energy at play, but let's also remember that the devil is also the deceiver. The deceiver. So what's true? What's fiction? And is somebody playing with the truth a bit? Is somebody bending the truth? Is that what's causing this trickiness in a situation? Then maybe you shouldn't be taken so heavy, so seriously here. I think you've been dealing with a little bit of mischief. I think you have been playing a bit. Some of it has been fun. Some of it has been playing with your more rebellious side. And some of it has stirred up a bit of play in terms of strategy coming from other people as a sort of counter strike to what they feel is an attack coming from your quarter, an attack on what they prize or what they feel is the truth in their situation. So there's interesting dynamics in play here. Doesn't surprise me though, because before we had Pluto go into Capricorn again, you were hosting that energy. So there is sort of maybe a little bit of a sort of precursor energy coming in here. It's like you still feel some of that shadow lingering over you. You might be remembering stuff that was going down at this time last year. October last year may have been an important month. There may be a lot that's sort of resurfacing from that time for you. I also feel like you are just sort of feeling like some of that heaviness has dissipated a little bit maybe, and you're about to go back into it. So it's almost like a foreshadowing kind of energy I'm picking up here. But let's see, what is this path that Aquarius is coming from here, Spirit? Show me the path that is now falling away from Aquarius as they step into the present. What is oh, quite a bit came out. Okay. All right, well, we know tricky stuff. Okay, this came out again, trick or treat. We might get some more clarification about where that tricksy energy was coming from. Oh, we certainly did. We got vampire as a crossing energy here. Interesting. Emotional intelligence. Yes, I do think that you have been dealing with a certain seductress here. There may have been something that came up around this for you with the Hunter's Moon. There's somebody here that is a factor in this mischief and play. And this is a little bit of a tricky character that you had dealt with here. Somebody that was hungry for you. That's what I got, hungry. Maybe they're one of these hungry ghosts. Somebody who had a lot of sway with you. But at the same time, it's like you felt like a lot was taken away from you with this connection. Like this connection had a very draining influence on your life. It may have drained your bank account. It may have drained your emotional reserves. It may have drained your courage. In some cases, you noticed a lot of reversals with this person in your life, even though there was this quality of being very tempted, very drawn to them. Yes. You felt like they kind of created this like cloud, this cloud of confusion around your life that was a little difficult for you to see your way through. You may have even had some opportunities pass you by as a result of this person. But I see here that what you don't realize is that it was actually perfect that this opportunity passed you by. Even though I feel like this is something that was sort of manipulated through this person's involvement. I mean, they're coming out as a crossing energy here. So it's almost like their energy is acting as a block. This association, this connection is acting as a block. And it's responsible for quite a bit of mischief and play. So I do feel like this is your trickster character here, okay? Very seductive, very alluring, enticing, tempting. And at the same time, there's an acknowledgement here about, ooh, do I really want to head into this territory? And this is something that still lingers. I feel like even though it's behind you, it still lingers. But there is a lot you learned. You've gained a lot of knowledge from this situation. You've grown in ways that you can't learn from books through your involvement with this character. And even though it seems like things got kind of stirred up in your life, or maybe they even got chaotic for a while, you're about to see how that apparent reversal was really good fortune, because it's about to line you up with an opportunity that you couldn't have been available for otherwise if things had panned out the way you thought they should back there. See, you have a little bit of a hidden talent here, I have to say. You have a hidden talent after having danced with Pluto. It's given you an ability to really be able to extract the light from some pretty heavy experiences that most people would be afraid of. But it's like you become comfortable sort of being in that place of the unknown. You've also learned how to be in a steady state of transformation. I mean, people always talk about a Saturn return as being really heavy, and I agree with that, but Pluto is a whole other animal, man. And I do feel like you've really learned how to navigate the dark with Night Song here. You've learned to find a way through. Some of you feel a lot more connected to your soul. You feel a lot more connected as well to spirit in general, I have to say. It's really tuned you into a different way of moving forward than maybe you did in the past. Some of you had a lot of intuition awaken through you because you didn't really have any other way to navigate situations you were dealing with. So it made you kind of go deeper within yourself here. And I feel that it did awaken the alchemist in you. And here we have the witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds. So yes, your powers of transformation are at an all-time high right now. You are meant to work with the element of fire, which means you're in an activating phase. You're about to be in an activating phase. You have a certain power in your hands that could only be gleaned by hosting Pluto. You know what I mean? If there's the light, you pulled through that, you were able to pull light out of that mean, heavy darkness there that you were navigating. And now you're holding it and you're pondering it. And you're like, what should I use this for? It's a lot of power, and you recognize that it's a lot of power. However you use this, I'm getting this, that there are those who will feel it's destructive. For you, it's cathartic. And for others, it will be very illuminating and inspirational because it'll sort of like light a fire under them as well. And you are meant to lead the charge, I have to say. But this is a very transforming force that you hold in your hands here. And it's really beautiful, I have to say, because what are you wanting to use this transforming force for? Forgiveness. You want to burn through the old karmic load. You want to burn through that which has burdened you. You're ready to reduce it to ash. You're ready to rise from the ash. And in its place, on the other side of what's been painful or difficult or challenging or confounding, is this beautiful release and opening. And in its place comes in something that blooms in perfect timing that couldn't have happened if things had lined up the way you had envisioned. So it's kind of funny. Because this seductress character, right, that led you off down a garden path, they did you a favor by rerouting you. They came in as a trickster energy. It often works out that way, that those that we feel oppose us actually can be those that benefit us most of all. And now you're seeing what's on the other side of that. I also think you got your chops a bit in dealing with this situation because you did have to think on your toes. And there's almost like a whodunit vibe, like who are my allies here? And really having to be able to differentiate between what's coming from false narrative, what's coming from that place of reflecting, scrying the past to try to determine the future, and thereby superimposing the psychic imprint of the past on the present, which is what creates our future. You know, I feel like you had to do a lot of questioning and making a lot of differentiation between, oh, I get it. Okay, this is smoke and mirrors. This is old fears. This is old stuff that used to hold me back. And no, this is legit. This is my intuition. There's something I just feel here and I know. And I got to trust that right now. But this was like a weak spot. And what I like about this energy is even though this vampiric energy is working in cross purposes to you, they still benefit you. those who work against you always do. They pull out the greatest strengths within you. You know, I kind of believe that we make these arrangements before we come into this life, these soul contracts, like, okay, you're going to play the bad guy in this go around. And, you know, you really need to teach me this lesson here about trusting my intuition. And so you need to come onto my path and you need to trick me. And I need you to kind of like put me in this labyrinth of my own machinations in my mind so I can realize, oh, I've had the key to free my mind the whole time, right? It's that kind of energy. And you may be looking back at a situation like that. You may be realizing that, like, wow, I learned so much from that person. I gained so much from that person. I have so much power in my hands now because of the blocks this person put on my path. You might even feel a little bit of gratitude. You might be able to extract gratitude out of what used to be grudge energy. You're seeing the gift. You're seeing the hidden talents it awakened within you. I feel like it's one of the medicines you're carrying forward here. It's leading to some beautiful release that's bringing about a flowering into your life, okay? I am going to just take this mischief in play. We're going to reintegrate these cards here so they have an opportunity to come out again and highlight messages, but I'm leaving this trick or treat out here, okay? That is the path you are leaving behind now. It's falling away. Falling away. I do feel like it's going to reach like a culmination point with Halloween or Samhain, depending on what side of the hedge you're on here. Something wanted to flash there, but it went back in. Now you see me, now you don't. Okay, there might be like one last trick in store. Do be prepared for that. What is the path as Aquarius sees it now? What is their current perspective of the path before them, Spirit? What is Aquarius's current perspective? Interesting. I got like a little side message. Some of you feel like you got a little haunting going on in your home. I don't feel like this is for everybody. You feel like there's just an energy that only tends to become active at this time of the year. You might be getting some kind of clue coming in here. It might come in for you on Halloween, I have to say, that gives you guidance about how to remedy that matter. It may be somebody that passed in your life over the past year has some insight for you. You might get some kind of, like, I got like whispering in your ear. It sort of feels like you sense that what you're hearing through your intuition is guidance from a loved one helping you navigate this issue. Tune into that, okay? Interesting. All right. What we got here? Yeah, see? You're seeing your path as it is being laid out here by Spirit. You are creating through the ashes. And I do feel like there is a connection here that is still in need of some purification work. There might be a connection that's more energetic. You might need to pull that up out of the root. It might be tapped into your root chakra, right? So you may want to do some work around your root chakra here. Put down a grounding cord. You can just envision, like, from the tip of your tailbone, roots growing down into the ground, and plug those roots into the core of the earth and drink up the energy from the earth like golden light to fill your whole body. And you can watch that golden light then clear any kind of blockages, any heavy energy, anything that is still kind of in your space and bundle it up and drain it down the root system back into the core of the earth to be transmuted, transformed, with the intention to return to you as renewable energy here. Okay, you might also want to work with tagetes, Mexican marigold, especially if you feel like you're dealing with an energy that's extremely clingy, hard to release, right? Tagetes also may be coming in as a clue for those of you that have been dealing with like things that go bump in the night in your space, and that's something you are tuned in with. Tagetes can help, okay? Mexican marigold. You might want to, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so you may want to you may want to leave out a little something for the ancestors. Okay, if you haven't done that, you might want to do that with this particular Halloween. Leave out some treats for them. Don't eat these treats, okay? But leave out some treats for them as well. Something that you can give over to the earth after the holiday is best, to just kind of work with that energy of giving back to those who went before us. So it's nice to kind of set out a meal for them, but it should be something that you can give back to the earth, that it's okay if critters come across it and eat it, they'll do just fine. That's kind of traditional here. But what's going bump in the night might actually be somebody that's maybe they were like, okay, this is kind of taking over here, so I have to go with it. You might have had somebody pass that used to be like really mischievous. Like this person was a jokester. They liked to pull pranks. They had a great sense of humor. They also loved this time of year. Like Halloween was their favorite holiday. Okay. So this person has been wanting your attention. So that's why you notice that the activity only picks up around this time of year, because this is their most spirited time of the year. And maybe this person even told you at one point, they said, if I ever, go before you, I'm going to come back and haunt you, like kind of playful. They've been trying to give you signs, perhaps, and you've been ignoring it, right? Leave out a little treat for them, right? There's something about leave out their favorite treat. And you might get some information here. Maybe this is the information coming in right now. This might be a little bit of kind of channeling coming in here. I heard good and plenties. That's not very good for leaving out for the critters though, but I heard good and plenties. That's a really random kind of candy. Good and plenties. They want some good and plenties. And don't you eat them. I heard that. Don't you eat them. Those are mine. Okay. That's going to speak to somebody. All right. Okay. Yeah, put on some tagetes. You see, tagetes are used, Mexican marigolds used as an offering. It's something to bring in beauty and reverence, and there's also a lot of play and celebration that comes in with Dias de los Muertos, right? So there could be a connection there too. Somebody could be from Mexico, right? Or they just really have always been drawn to that part of the world. Okay, that energy came in really strongly here. For some of you, where you feel like it's not, this might be who you get the information from, okay? So they might want you to bring out a treat so they can kind of, give you some information about how to get rid of an energy that you feel is more tricky, okay? You might need to work with some curandismo, okay? So you might want to contact somebody who specifically works within that tradition. You might need to make a visit to the Botanica, you know what I'm saying? Okay? It's just coming in. So a curandera, somebody that can kind of help navigate this. It might be like ancestrally connected. Okay, interesting. All right, let's check this out. So there is something that you're about to rebirth here in the present. You're aware of this. I think you're kind of looking at what's been released and you're thinking about, okay, what am I going to create moving forward from this point? So you're seeing it right now, I feel like more of a kind of clean slate energy. And you're thinking right now, okay, I got this power in my hands. I got some wisdom I can put to use. What do I want to create here? So let's see what you're thinking of. What is the path as Aquarius is seeing it before them right now, Spirit? What is the path as Aquarius is seeing it before them right now, Spirit? What is the path as Aquarius is seeing before them right now, Spirit? I hope you all are appreciating these deep dives because this is the way I prefer to be. I don't like shorts. I don't like, having to be on a time limit. I like to go as long as the energy has a message to come through. And I almost feel like when I have to confine myself to short attention spans, that it's not respecting the energy that wants to come through. So I'm going to kind of just do my thing. Rolling out here. I mean, I think it's kind of fun with y'all signs to get little brief messages and be a little, off the cuff with it. But when I'm doing readings and I'm tapping into the energy, I want to take the time and space to give proper respect to that. Maybe that's what you're doing right now, Aquarius. You're taking proper time and space to really think about what you want to create here. Yes, I see this. Look, it came out as a crossing energy. We have illumination, skull of light. Skull of light. Yes. I like this because it talked about your intuition is picked up more. You're more aware of your intuition. You may feel like you're noting a lot more synchronicities in your environment. You're getting a lot more hits. You're getting a lot more impressions. And maybe you've always been like an intuitive person or a good read of character, but there's something here where this is different. I feel like the volume is turned up a bit. And I do feel like that's sort of like what you're doing right now. You're tuning into the more subtle energies as you're holding this power in your hands. And you're allowing the illumination to come within you before you take an action. So I feel like you're sort of just straddling. You're straddling the divide. Ooh, you're doing a bit of Merc writing at this time, I have to say. Okay, so you got 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the future, and you are the center balancing point. And you're just kind of riding that hedge right now as you determine, what am I going to create with this power I have in my hands? Ooh, I like it. I dig it, Aquarius. Let's see what we got on the deck here. Look at this. Yes, please. With Lady de los Muertos coming out here, I do feel where you are needing to clear an energy, you should go and see somebody who works with curandissimo. You could benefit from a curandera in this situation, or those methods working with Mexican folk tradition, working with those roots. So you may be somebody that this is speaking to. You may have those roots, that's your ancestral energy coming through as a confirmation for you. This will balance things out. It will make things equal. I also feel like you do need to spend more time maybe creating some space, just creating some space to hold for your loved ones who have already passed beyond the veil, that are wanting to connect with you. I do feel like there's some illumination coming in there through the ancestors, but I also feel like this was a lot. It was a lot that has been released. And there's something about really taking the time to recognize that. And maybe also with this Halloween that's coming up here, not just taking time to honor the loss of the loved ones, but to also acknowledge the big deaths that you've been moving through in your life, the spiritual deaths you've been experiencing as you've been going through transformations and releasing things and exposing sides of yourself that you hadn't seen before, and really dealing with what's going on in your root cellar. There's something about also acknowledging all of this release you've had around the karmic burden you've been dragging around with you. Okay. Really potent energy here. Yes, you're pausing. Winter, the sacredness of pausing. It's interesting, the messages is coming through here because I'm not seeing winter at the forefront in this image. I'm seeing fall at the forefront. So I feel like you're pausing at this time during the fall, because winter time is when everything is going to take off for you. And it is your season, Aquarius, I have to say. So I feel like there's something that really does start to manifest in the winter, but you're taking time to integrate. And you're recognizing that you don't want to just take action without having that certain alignment within you, where intuitively you're like, yes, this is what I'm to create now. This is what I'm to step forward into now. Okay, I like it. This is good. This is very, very positive energy here. Okay. All right, let's check it out and let's see, what is the hidden path? What is the path that Spirit is going to open the road to for you, so you can head on up to the Stone of Destiny, which is your activation point of your North Node? Let's see, what is the hidden path that Spirit's going to bring in for you with the initiatory gateway that will come in with the Scorpio new moon on November 1st? That will kick off a very important lunar cycle there. Okay, so I feel like you're just at this place of pause right now. You're taking some time to reflect, integrate, ponder. You're pondering your orb, wizard. What is the next move? Okay, so you're really just present right now, and I like that. You understand the importance of really acknowledging these transformations, these endings, what's being released, and you're understanding also the power that your next action will have. So you're holding a bit of reverence around it. I like it. Okay, it's good. It's good. Woo, okay. Well, but I have to say, take this time, take this space. You're not going to be there for long, because the path is going to open up for you with werewolf, exploring wildness. So this is when you go off the beaten path, okay? This is when you take an alternate route. This is when you go down that path that you don't know the way, right? But your instincts will guide you. Okay, so wolf coming through as the pathfinder here, the road opener. You will have the road open for you. It will come in the next full moon. That will be that activating point for you. And that will start to head us closer into the winter season, right? So you need to wait for that illumination. I got it. Yeah, you need to wait for that illumination to come in with that full moon that will arrive. The full moon that will arrive with this lunar cycle that will get kicked off on November 1st with the Scorpio new moon. It's like you had an intuitive hint about this, about the path ahead, but it came in more as just like a foreshadowing, right? With the hunter's moon, maybe where you would be setting your sights, but the path isn't quite open yet. It will be by the next full moon. And I'm not sure where that full moon is. We'll have to find out, and I'll pin it in the comments for you, okay? Because I feel like it's something that you should sort of like circle as a key date. Okay, let's check this out. Let's see about this hidden path that's going to emerge within you, and it's going to awaken the wild side of you. I like it. Okay, so you're going free range here, man. Some of you may have been kind of like connected to something that prevented you from really exploring your path, right? Maybe there's like this new sense of freedom that's on your path now. It opens up your opportunities for what you want to explore. I know whatever this is, you are in unfamiliar territory because you have to rely on um, different information than you're used to using for your navigational purposes here. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is just coming out really strong. So I know here you're not getting a bunch of clues about how this moves forward because there's a reason why all that came in around your intuition here. You really have to trust your intuition to guide you forward here. There is no GPS, okay? There is no way to find this on a map. This is something that you get the intuitive prompting. You know what you know when you know it. You trust it. You follow it. And it's like all these wild gifts come your way. Empowerments too. Empowerments too. You're being initiated into the mystery, I have to say. This is about embracing the wildness of the mystery. Maybe you've been somebody who wanted to know, you wanted to have the answers, you wanted something to be certain. This is about embracing the mystery and discovering the empowerment that awakens in you. Ooh, really, really interesting energy here. Very cool. I like it, Aquarius. Okay. At the end of the road, you find forgiveness, though, and that was the initial intention that opened up with you. So this is beautiful. There's an objective achieved here. All right. Let's look at the wild card element you need to be aware of as you move forward. We're going to use the Arcane BS deck for this. I think that is the longest I took with opening with the paths of any of the signs. I think that's because in a way, I get it. Oh, yes, because you are becoming the werewolf. You are the pathfinder. Like the wolf medicine is awakening in you. And you are the pathfinder. You are the rebel. You're the one who has to help us clear the brush to find the way to the dawning of the new age, man. I get it. That's why it comes through when Pluto goes back into your sign, which will be on the 19th of November. Oh, I'm dying to know when that full moon is. I can't wait to see. There might be an interesting sync with that. I get it. You are the Pathfinder. You should dive into really looking at Wolf Totem. It would really benefit you. And I'm not going to tell you where to seek out that information because where you find it is going to be very personal to you, where you feel guided to look and the research you do there. It's wild the way it becomes like a treasure hunt. And one thread of connection to another, it takes you on a journey in and of itself. But this is the wolf totem waking within you. This is potent, okay? Ooh, I like it. And so you can lead the charge. You have to. You're going to show us how we rebel against the old structures, the old confines, and how we move forward in a new, innovative, revolutionary way, Aquarius. So, of course, the revolution is happening within you. It's an evolution where you're revamping things that have been before. You're revamping your belief systems, your BS, you're revamping your reality tunnel. Maybe you're choosing to look through the happiest possible reality tunnel you can mock up for yourself. Maybe you recognize ways that You created unsatisfactory reality tunnels for yourself in the past. You're looking through new windows in the grid, and through it, your community is becoming smaller even as it's expanding. You know, there's like more deep connections coming in here. I like it. This is really cool. And you have to explore paths you've never been down so you can meet the correct soulmates, you know? The people that are meant to join you on this leg of the journey. So let's see, what is the wild card element here for Aquarius? Yeah, see, it's that treasure hunt vibe. This is about lining up with a lot of randomness. It's the chaos energy, okay, that is Pluto in Aquarius. It's like it seems random, but it has a purpose, just like chaos is the creative force. And it takes chaos to birth a star. And the star is your card in the tarot. So this is like the birth of hope, all right? But there is a bit of this like treasure hunt kind of vibe to it. It's so random. Can you spot the meaning in what seems random? Can you spot the thread of connection in what seems random? It's not. It's all interrelated. It's all giving you breadcrumbs on the path through the wild wood. Ooh, I like it. There's a lot of elements in play here. And see, I'm almost picking up again that you know, somebody who passed on, man. Somebody who passed on, they had a real sense of humor. It's like their energy is coming through again. This person's a real character. I feel like if this is a guy, it feels like it's somebody that's passed on that you're really close with. For some of you, it could be an ancestor that's going to come on through that wants to guide you at this time. But this is pretty interesting, the way that imagery keeps coming out, okay? What's the wild card element? What's the wild card element? I think things are going to get kind of interesting for you. It's like there's a little bit of playfulness, mischief that's being stirred up here. But it's good for the soul. You know what I mean? It's good for the soul. It's like it puts a little pep in your step. It makes you feel connected to a part of yourself that maybe you got cut off from a long time ago. You're taking a walk on the wild side. I like it. It's cool energy. I like it. All right, let's check it out here. Yeah, half price hot wings. You've been that real. You know, you've tried to settle for sides when you've wanted the whole feast. You wanted a banquet, all right? So there's something here about experiencing a big level up here. What's the wild card element in play here? What's the wild card element in play here for Aquarius? Ooh. Oh. Wow. Your energy coming out really strong. You are recognizing that you need to cleanse an old cycle. And that old cycle revolves around the way you have seen things in a situation. This is something about radically changing your view in a situation. It's like you're realizing that you have repeatedly been giving birth to a skull. You repeatedly keep giving birth to the old cycle because you're getting something out of the transformational process. There's something that you want to transform. You want to transform this with another. And so you keep giving birth to the same old cycle to have a chance to transform this energy. But there's something about illuminating the reality that having the past version of yourself sort of being your eyes guiding you forward is putting you in a position where you can't activate the master within, the guru. Gee, you are you, Aquarius. You don't need to rely on anything outside of you to guide you. This is about activating that inner sight that leads you forward. There is something you're tempering here. I'm just seeing the like, the surf and turf vibes there coming in with the fish and the steak. This is also very like rooted kind of energy. And remember, there's something you need to be aware of with your root chakra here. So please pay attention to how you're nourishing yourself right now. Nourish yourself at this time, because I feel like a lot of inner sight is being activated for you. And there's also a lot that's coming up for you. It feels like it's old stuff, it's foundational stuff. And some of it is a bit to digest. It's a bit to process here. I feel that you're giving birth to the transformation opportunities for this energy that's been holding over you for a long time. Stuff that you've put up with for a while, telling yourself, oh, everything's fine. But once this comes through, it's not going to be destructive. And in a way, you've been telling yourself everything's fine. And that's because there's a little bit of inner knowing here. See, this is why you need to be sure that you're tending to your root chakra here. Because see, you got something coming through the root that's going to blow your mind, okay? It's going to open the upper channels here. For some of you, I have to say, with the super horny porno owl here, for some of you, this could be coming through sexual release. This could be coming through a tantric experience here. You might experience something like this around the new moon in Scorpio on November 1st. It's like the site opens, okay? So there might be an internal activation. You feel energy rising from the root up. This is how it's coming through. You were getting a little mystical here. There's a deception you see through at that time. This is an alchemical activation. It breaks an old karmic loop. There's no need to digest this cycle anymore. I also feel this is the manifestation point for you, okay? There's some kind of illumination that's coming in here for you that blows your mind at this time. It signals the birth of the new cycle. You're no longer caught up under the light of the moon in that place of confusion. You have grabbed your transformation, your power of transformation. Remember, it's in your hands here. And there's definitely something that you are cleansing away, because frog medicine is about spiritual cleansing. So there's some old energy here too that you are cleansing away, you are releasing. It feels like it's an energetic attachment, and it's something that has been blocking the root. Right? But as you get tapped in, as you get rooted, as you get connected with your ancestral energy as well, as the memo comes in from beyond, like a message retrieved from the past. I'm seeing a rotary phone here. The transformation point takes place. You're no longer going to be giving birth to endings, but now there's an opportunity for this energy to rise. Clear the channel, clear the way, open the road. So the path has to, I get it, the path has to open up within you first. Macrocosms reflected in microcosm. So it's like there's energetic attachments within the chakra center. And I got it's at the root. So something rocked your root. You went through something that made you feel like you weren't safe. You could have dealt with a major health issue. You could have suffered some major loss. This could have been the death of a loved one. This could have been a personal death in your life. You went through something that rocked your root, rocked your sense of security, rocked your sense of stability. In some cases, rocked your foundation, your home, your finances. It could have majorly affected your health. You could have dealt with some kind of injury, some kind of back injury, slip disc, something that sidelined you for a long time. you felt like you had to go through a rebirthing process. Like whatever this was, you're not coming out the same. It's like you're giving birth to yourself. And I do feel with the energy here coming in, this double snake energy is reminding me of Ida Pingala. Okay, so it's the rising of the Kundalini energy, the Kundalini life force energy, the transformational fire within. Yes. And if you dealt with anybody that you feel was sort of like coveting what you have or looking upon what you have gained and we're doing so with jealousy, this is cleansing away that evil eye, that malokyo. And I've talked about that here on this channel and ways that you can do that, ways that you can cleanse that away with egg cleansing, doing a little bit of Seder as well, like reading the egg, how to do that properly, how to clear it away. I'll try to figure out where I have that link to that video that I did where I described that. So you can work with that if you feel like that's what you got going on. I mean, I may as well break it down. We're taking our time here, right? So just for those that feel that, like you've dealt with a lot of jealousy and you feel that energy on you, the way you can clear out Malokyo, again, we're getting into, that tradition, okay? So this keeps coming through. Take a room temperature egg, okay? Doesn't have to be any kind of special egg, just any old egg, right? And you can work with a psalm if you want. I recommend you work with any kind of prayer you want, anything that speaks to you personally, right? Trust your internal guidance on that and work within your tradition. Any kind of prayer for assistance in cleansing the energy from you, freeing you from this energetical influence. And you start at the top of your head and you just rub the egg all over your body, everywhere you can reach. It's okay. You're not going to be able to reach every single spot, but everywhere you can, all the way from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet. Okay, and then you have a glass of water. Make sure it's a clear glass so you can see through it. And you have salt in this glass, right? That's for the purification there. This is really important. You're going to crack that egg after you've cleansed your energy, okay? You're going to crack that egg into the water. Do not look at the egg down from the top because the energy can just transfer right back to you, okay? Water is a conduit. We have to remember this too. You are going to look from the side of the glass and you are going to read the energy. That's Seder. It's a way to determine what is the quality of your energy, what's going on with your energy. The yolk should be nice and round and bright and rich in color, and it should be firmly intact. It shouldn't be bleeding. That lets you know that your energy, like your power center, the energy is bleeding, okay? It's not solid. There's been tapping into your power center. There's been draining of your power, right? If you see a lot of stringy energy, that's, energetic attachments. If the energy is really kind of like milky in the water and it's sort of pulling that yolk down to the bottom, that's, definitely like an anchoring energy, a heavy energy. It might be an energy that's been with you for a long time. It's a repressive, burdensome kind of energy that you're carrying around. If you see lots of little bubbles, those are evil eye, okay? So that's kind of how you can tell. I mean, it can be a good cleanse to do, I have to say. It can be a good cleanse to do in general. I mean, this almost looks like an egg, This looks like an egg too, like the yolk with the white. Yeah, that might be a good method of cleansing, cleansing some old energy away too, old energetic attachments. And it might be able to illuminate for you if you've had a question about that. Maybe some of you have felt like that. Like, I feel like somebody's got the evil eye on me. Well, that's a good way to determine. Now, once you've done that, okay, and you've read it and you know what's going on with the energy, that energy is lifted off of you, transferred from the egg into that matter within the shell, okay? So what you're going to do is you're just going to flush it down the toilet. Okay? It's simple. It's a folk method. It's a roots method. It's simple. Nothing grand about it. You don't have to dispose of it in any special way. You just flush it down the toilet, just like you're flushing that energy away from you. Okay. So I feel like, the wild card element here is you're going to recognize, this is going to be illuminated for you, that a past version of yourself has been steering your course. And it could even be somebody from your past as well. Maybe somebody that you've been supporting here, or you've been sort of attached at the hip here. But there's a sort of a thief energy, and time can be a thief too, especially if you're letting too much of the past have an influence on where you're heading to now. Okay, let me do a cut of the deck here and see what we got. Aquarius. Yeah, this is a little bit of bottom feeder energy here. Okay, so there's still something operating here on the lower levels that you do need to be aware of. So there's one more fire test of truth coming here. This is a wild card element, I have to say. And it might be something you're dealing with another person. You may feel like they have the upper hand in this situation. Hang in there, okay? To wield the power of fire, you have to go through the fire. So I do feel like there's something else coming up here. Something else coming up here. It's something that maybe you've repressed for a while. You haven't wanted to look at this for a while. Maybe you've tried to minimize it. It's not a big deal. It's not that big of a deal. But it is a scavenger energy. It's a bottom feeder energy. And it is still around you. And it does, it does have some power here. You have some power too. It's sort of like a face-off energy. But it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me because I feel like it's almost like your future incarnation is holding your past manifestation to the test of the fire. It's like you're sort of challenging your old actions, the old ways of doing things, the old ways of seeing situations, and you're kind of holding yourself in the fire. That's what I feel. Like you're seeing something different. You're seeing something differently. That might even be the aspect of the energetic component that needs to be cleansed away. It's sort of like your old identity, your old way of running the show, your old belief system. That might be what gets cleansed away with that spiritual cleansing. It's like the psychic imprint of the past has almost become an entity in and of itself that's still sort of feeding here, but you're not recognizing it, right? Because it's subterranean. It's the subconscious stuff. Well, you're lighting it up. You're like shining a light on it. It's being illuminated. And your future self is aware and sort of holding you to it. Like, no, you're going to go through this fire test of truth. Is that still legitimate now? Yeah. And you're recognizing, you know what? I thought for a moment there that I was really aligned spiritually, that I was on the right track, that I was on the right path. But there's the dove coming in there. So I do see there's like this love that's wanting to come in. There's this peace that's wanting to come in. We know forgiveness is at the end of the road. You might have been more in the past in this place of feeling like, well, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, it's justified in my situation. But you may be recognizing the way that holding on to anger was actually just sort of spilling out your own vital life force energy. It's something that's exposing here for you. It's an old way of viewing a situation, an old way of viewing a spiritual dilemma. Something that, maybe you felt really sort of like, how can I put this? I mean, there are some shadow aspects that are being dealt with here. So maybe self-righteous about a position, but something's been exposed that makes you view it differently here. And it comes in through a slip up. It's like you have this slip up and there's something exposing about it that reminds you of a past version of yourself. And once you see it, that's the transformation point here. It's the way you've kind of tripped up yourself. A lot of spiritual cleansing here. When it hits this moment, it could come through another, I have to say. I do feel like it could come from another. But when this moment hits, it's like the activation point. And then it's like all this rush of creative energy comes forward for you. Your magic comes forward for you. And that is the start of the new beginning. You recognize that you are the creator of your path. You'll see your manifestations come in quickly with this once you come across this tripping point, right? Wild. Really wild. Okay. Let's see the magics you're going to need to carry you forward on this hidden path, because this is quite some dynamic energy you got coming in here. Oh, yes. You are opening the road. You got the full energy there. So your energy, you are moving forward. You're taking this leap of faith. You will be heading on up to the stone of destiny there. But I see you do have some worthy adversaries. They're trying to get to the stone of destiny before you so they can lay claim on it, right? That 5 of Wands coming in here. Do be prepared. There is some opposition along the way, but you're like, I am committed. I'm ready to lead the charge here. I mean, we know you got some power in your hand. You're using it to carry you forward. You're using that Ace of Wands to tie your knapsack to as you hit the road, okay? So you are moving forward in a big, bold direction here. You feel enthusiastic about it. You're going to be taking a leap of faith. Okay. Yeah, see, there's something you're leaving behind here. You're not quite there yet, okay? I feel like this is in process right now. This is currently in process. And as we start to edge on up, to the new moon, that will become more clear. And I feel like right before the following full moon, that'll be the activation point, when you finally leave something behind here. You leave something behind. Your magic is in trusting the mystery. Your magic is in trusting that path you've never been down before. Your magic is in trusting wildness, but it's going to take some time because before you can fully merge with this, you have to let something go, okay? What is the magic that Aquarius will need to carry them forward on this hidden path, Spirit? What is the magic that Aquarius will need to carry them forward on this hidden path, Spirit? Working with the tarot of the owls for this. I'd like to know what card decks I'm working with. What is the wisdom? Ooh, what is the wisdom that will be carrying? Magical wisdom. You're getting some new magical wisdom. Oh, yes, you are here. Interesting. You're bringing something to a close. You're bringing something to a place of completion. You're ending an old cycle. I feel it's this. It's the wisdom of the deception. Okay, like that came in before. It's the wisdom of the deception, the ways that you have been putting outside forces sort of in charge of how your life plays out. And you're starting to recognize that you've been repeatedly sort of creating the same kind of scenario over and over again, and that you actually have the power to transform your world. You've been putting too much outside of yourself in the position of responsibility for how your life has gone. And you're starting to really recognize, like, no, I have the ability to completely transform my life. But it does involve you bringing something to a close here. And it could be bringing something to close with a Queen of Pentacles, I have to say. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Strong Taurus coming out with the world, I have to say. Or this could be something to do with the way you value your own contribution, the way you value yourself, the power that you have in your hands, the power you have to affect change, or what you have to offer here, the power of what you choose to invest in as well, you know. Big Taurus energy though. With the world, we got the fixed signs. So Taurus, Scorpio. Taurus rising is Scorpio descendant. So that could be a clue. It's very personal to you though. I mean, you are also a fixed sign, Aquarius. There could be a Leo in the mix. It could also be a past matter, right? Something is being brought to completion here so you can create your world anew. It's very clear on this, and it really wants to stay stuck on this position because I feel like the power, the magic that you need to carry forward with you is the Spear of Lu with this Ace of Wands here. That's the activating point that brings you this Chariot that guides you forward here. You could be dealing with a Cancer in this situation. I also have to say that this particular Chariot, as it comes through, is coming through as Freya energy. So there might be a clue there about connecting with the energy of Freya to move forward. Okay. Norse goddess, also very connected to the Valkyrie energy. So we're bringing in this piece again about respecting the transformation and what needs to be released, what needs to be let go of so you can move forward. The Valkyries help guide fallen warriors to Valhalla. Okay, so there is this energy here about acknowledging what's being released, but being empowered and moving forward. It is very Venusian energy. So you could be dealing with a Venusian character as well. Naturally, that brings in the energies of Taurus again. It also could be bringing in Libra energy. But I see that you're going to take a strong action that moves you away from one to bring you into alignment with the new path. And you're not planning on rushing forward here. You're moving forward with the spirit of the Fool. But you're just kind of happy to be on your way and you want to take it in. This isn't like this isn't rushing to get somewhere. This is about understanding that getting there is part of the adventure, right? So there's a lot of magics that you're going to glean from taking your time as you explore your wildness, as you explore that, you know, that hidden path. I feel you're going to find the path. To me, it's the magic of the Pathfinder that's awakening in you. It's like you are the way through. The path emerges from within you and it guides others forward too. And that's why you're taking your time with this, because you know that the path that you're forging here, like, others will follow. You're opening the way through. You are the path. You are the path. And it's going to take time here. Okay, any other details about this magic that Aquarius needs to take forward with them, Spirit? Any more details? Oh, I got something coming in here. My ear just totally sounded off. Any more details? Okay, this is an important message. stop staying in a place where there's nothing here. It's like you're living in the past. You might even be living in the past with another. Mischief and play, trick or treat. You might be living in the past with another. There's nothing here. It's almost like giving me the impression of being caught up on an old timeline. Remember, you're the hedge rider. You're the hedge rider. That requires a lot of balance to ride the hedge. I have to tell you, when you're Merc riding, you have to stay balanced. You may have a foot in the past and a foot in the future, and you are straddling the present. But one slip here, one slip, and you could very easily wind up stuck in the past. There's a critical merging point of these timelines where they come into the eternal now. And it's the activation point, right? Of that third way, the site that you haven't been able to see up to this point, which is that the path opening, the hidden path, right? But you have to be careful. You have to be careful here because it's like, yes, you've been calling stuff in. You've been seeding visions for the future. And I do feel like you've been laying some of that foundation there. Okay. You've had to be an Aquarius and leading the charge here. But you've also had to understand your past in order to do that. You have to understand the past in order to have the foundation for the future to be built upon and have that foundation be built wisely, right? But there's an element here we have to remember, this trickster that you do have on your path, right? You have power in your hands, true. But you have to be aware also, Freya energy is not just love and passion and purpose and that warrior energy that is about honoring those who've fallen in battle, okay? And helping them get to Valhalla, helping them get to the other side. I mean, you do have a little bit of this energy that's come through. You might come from a warrior bloodline, and that's like an ancestral energy you feel hanging around, might be one that comes in for you. But we also have to look at that love quality in its mirror opposite, war. Venus is love and war. It's both, right? Venus is open enemies. And we dealt with that quality. Remember, air and the water, the mirroring aspect. There's hidden enemies and then there's open enemies here. So you could have a specific opponent here that you need to be very mindful of getting caught up in battle with them. Remember, forgiveness keeps coming through for you. Forgiveness is about letting this go, letting it go. Be careful of where you dalliance with old opponents, lest you get caught up in their snare of glamour and find yourself enamored with a past reality that later becomes a gilded cage. Because this is a place of lack. There's two here, but both are injured. There's no way forward. Yes, there's something you do need to be very mindful of here. It's a secret. It's secret knowledge that you have to tap into that will be revealed to you as you have the courage to head down the hidden path. So this is magic that's gained along the way through sort of dealing with past versions of yourself, past inclinations that you recognize come from a place that doesn't really serve your best interests, as well as being aware of parts of yourself that can sabotage yourself and others who may be at cross purposes with what you want to step into. Okay? We do cut the deck here. Any final guidance about the magic that Aquarius will need to carry forward with them? on the path, the hidden path that will emerge here. The Fool, just remember, where you're going, you haven't been before. It's an adventure. It's an exploration. It's off the beaten path. You're exploring wildness here, okay? So if you start seeing stuff that reminds you of where you've been, that can be a big clue. It can be a way to tip you off that, oh, how am I getting caught up in the snare of the trickster again? You see, you got to get to the point where the past and the future, they all converge and are transmuted through that trail you're blazing moving forward. See, it's your fire that is going to blaze the trail. And as you bring these two dimensions of time into the present, all the past is burned away. And there's only this forward projection, right? Just seeing what's right in front of you as you step forward. The future merges with the now. It becomes the manifestation point. This is when you're going to need to have real clear focus because you are leading the charge. So it's a lot of responsibility, the energy you're holding on around moving into this expansion. So you can't be burdened by your false perceptions, the beliefs you had in the past, or the person you were in the past. You are rebirthing yourself in each moment moving forward here. It's transformation. Each step is transformation. It's constantly stepping into the present, and in the present, the future is already there, and the past that was just a moment ago is falling away from you. Yes, it's a learning cycle. You're learning as you go, and through your learning, you become the teacher. You see? It's that moon coming in. That's when the wisdom awakens in you. Your strength awakens in you. Your magic awakens in you at that time. It's the next full moon to come in after the new moon in Scorpio. Man, your energy is not playing here, man. It's not. We're going to use the glow in the dark cards. I love how that's sort of finishing off there. The glow in the dark tarot works with that moon imagery. So you're lining with that next full moon. These next two moons are super significant for you. The new moon is a very powerful point of transformation for you. And then that energy builds, okay? It's like your power builds in that time. Your power builds until the next full moon comes. And then it's like you blast that path open. It's like it comes through you, up and out through you. And then others follow you. You're leading the charge here. Big full energy. It's on the bottom of the deck here. 7 of Swords. You just got to be aware of this trickster, okay? This is your quest. We're looking at your quest here with Glow in the Dark Tarot, so we know about this hidden path, what it's going to present to you. You will meet up with the trickster. It is the nature of any good quest that as we are close to achieving our destiny, the devil must come along to tempt us. And the devil comes in many forms. The trickster comes in many forms. Sometimes it's the devil himself. So this is the nature of your quest. It's the basis of your quest. You are about to step onto the path of the trickster. It brings a lot of intelligence. It brings a lot of challenge. Okay, but you can also have some fun with it too. If you have the right spirit, but you can't be timid. You have to let your wild side come forward to navigate this territory. You've got to let your more feral side take charge here. Trust your instincts. Trust your intuition. Go where the mystery allures you, courts you, but it also feels resonant in your bones. You know what I'm saying? You can find something alluring, but deep in your guts, you know that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? You have to really trust your animal body at this time moving forward. And you may have a good shapeshifter energy. I feel like you're really grokking wolf totem here. All right, yeah. 9 of Wands on the bottom of the deck here in reverse. See, you're like wide open. Something's coming through here. It's going to blast you wide open. And it also blasts through all of your defenses. I feel like you're not holding on to any fear. It's like there's almost like this beast. Yeah, that's how it's coming through, like a beast that's awakened in you from what you've had to face. It's made you kind of fearless here. This is what's allowing you to open up to this path. Okay, let's check this out. What is this quest? What is this quest? What is this quest? There's something about knowing already that you're going to best this trickster too. Right? I feel like something's going to sync up with you that gives you the information you need. It's like you're giving yourself a key. Oh, you're giving yourself a key? The future you is giving yourself a key. All right, this is interesting energy here. Ooh, I mean, some of you are dealing with the Queen of Pentacles as a source of conflict here, Earth sign energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, coming, oh my gosh, Capricorn energy, really strong, coming in as the devil. This could be the trickster on your path. This could be the trickster on your path, do you see? Comes in with the full in reverse. Well, thought it was going to go down that way. Don't know if that's so good. There's some offer coming through here. Maybe you wanted to heal this situation for a long time. Maybe Spirit is presenting a new offer to you. Hey, come down this road. I got a cauldron of dogda for you. You want to take this? You want to find something that gives you a little bit more sustenance here than what you've been dealing with? Oh, hell yeah, I want to take that. You got the Ace of Swords here. Frog Rock, okay? So we know you got the Spirit Blue. It looks like you also got this this opportunity here to take up the cauldron of Dogda. I feel like that's what's being presented to you right now. You feel like somebody played you for a fool. You were all in on a particular path at one time. There's something that was revealed to you about this connection. It was a tie that bound you, held you in place. It led you down a garden path. You might still have some oppositional energy coming from this quarter that needs to be dealt with. They may come to tempt you again. Let me do a cut of the deck here and see what we have around this. See? This is what you need to walk away from. This is the Judgment. Libra energy here with the Judgment. This is what brings the rebirthing cycle into your life. So this is the nature of your quest. There's something you need to walk away from here because it does not have value with where you're going. In fact, it's something that keeps you in a disempowered place. One time you wanted to head in this direction, but there's something else coming into alignment for you here that's going to be very healing for you, and it frees you from the past. Right? There's a past influence here. There is some connection that's coming in here for you. It's a soulmate. But there's something that you have to walk away from to activate this. If you hope to have some kind of celebration here, you see? Got 3 of Cups coming in after that. And behind that, we have the Queen of Swords. Libra energy coming in with Judgment pretty strong. This is also South Node matter. It's a karmic cycle. So there's something that needs to be transformed so you can come into alignment with a particular soulmate here. This is somebody that's meant to partner with you. This is also your energy coming in strongly too, all right? So definitely a truth needs to be lived by here, needs to be spoken, and there needs to be decisiveness to cut something off and walk away from it. It's sound judgment. It's what sparks a transformation. This is a renewal, rebirth energy that comes into your life that brings you into alignment with a soulmate that will bring great cause for celebration here, right? It's a healing that's happening here. Let's have a look here. Yes, this is part of the path. There's a lot to learn on this path going forward, but there's a lot of conflict in this situation too. There's some oppositional energy here. All right, let's see, what is the nemesis for Aquarius as they head toward their destiny, the activation of their north node here? What is the nemesis? What is the nemesis that Aquarius has to face as they head forward on this path? Some of you may want to find forgiveness or healing with this Queen of Pentacles energy. It's possible. But I feel like in order for you to do that, there's something that needs to be cut off. Maybe forgiveness means letting go in this case. It doesn't necessarily mean a revival of energy. It looks like your rebirth depends on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you being able to step into a new cycle revolves around you letting something go. It's something that's rocked your stability for too long. The Tower, okay? The Tower. This is the basis of the matter. So remember I talked about it's this activation point, this transformation point. It rises through you, from below through you, and it blows your mind. That's what this is, okay? So see, once you clear this, you pull out what's been tapped into your root, and it puts you in full possession of your transformational power. This is you bringing a tower here. You're bringing a tower to two, I have to say. Two are going to fall. Two are going to fall as a result of some truth you're speaking here. Okay, let's see what this is about. What is this nemesis? A nemesis to you at this time too would be to resist this transformation or to continue to build in a direction that's already proven itself false, or to go back into a place of denial. You have to face the truth and live by the truth in a situation. And you should go with your pull to heal and to operate from a place of forgiveness. But there's something tricky here, because I could see there could be like a little bit of a temptation to try to revive something that is best left finished, all right? What do we got with that? Yeah, do you see? Because if you take this offer from this person coming back around, they may try to reach out to you. They might want to reestablish the connection. With the Page of Cups in reverse, you see, if you buy into this, it's going to weaken your power. It takes the power out of your hands. So this is challenging, because I do feel like there is disappointment in this situation, or there's something that you wish would have gone down differently. And you do feel like you got tricked or duped, or like you feel like a bit of a fool in this matter. And so there might be this desire to have like almost like a redeeming moment. But this is something that should be released, because it keeps you in a position of not really standing in your power and being able to open your road and lead the charge to activate your destiny here. Again, it's about being mindful of how you use your power too, and not getting embroiled in conflict, not going back and feeding situations that can take you back to that place where you're emotionally manipulated again. You do need to be aware of this quality with this person. This person will use the emotions to control, and the passions as well, okay? So there's something you need to be aware of here. If you hope to have victory and get where you're looking to go, okay? I do see you having a lot of strong energy on your side here. Let's see what your spirit ally is moving forward here, Aquarius, toward the activation of your north node. What is your spirit ally here, Aquarius? mean, it looks like somebody has misused their power in this situation in a manipulative way. Right? For some of you who know somebody who likes to operate on the left-hand path, they could have used their powers of manifestation in a manipulative way, right? What's the spirit ally? See, that energy wants to keep like kind of inserting itself as I'm trying to tap into your spirit ally. And there's the crossing energy. See, your spirit ally is recognizing that you've already jumped ahead and you sort of created the framework for this beautiful future you're ready to create, not just for yourself, for your loved ones, for your family, for others who are going to come along for the ride, for others who are going to be following that path that you navigate ahead of time, to show them this is how we step into the new energy. This is how we step into that new age. This is how we all eat. This is how we all get what we need here. And you do have this energy. You're very focused on unifying things, bringing things together. There's also this aspect of yourself that feels like there's enough for everybody here, There's a way to work this out where something really can be healed and everybody can be fulfilled in this situation. So this is your ally by staying focused on the dream, staying focused on that lofty vision of yours, staying focused in that place of the dreamer in you, because your dreams have power now. You are the dream weaver. Ooh, you're the dream weaver. Yes, your dreams become reality. You are the dream weaver. So forget what people say about that's childish stuff or you're not being realistic. You cannot be realistic right now. Being realistic will work against you. You're meant to be unrealistic. You're meant to be unreasonably happy. You're meant to find the pot of gold before ever even having to go on the journey of the rainbow. You already have the gold. The gold is just in the fact of being able to go down that road in the first place. So this is the alchemist within you, okay? You already have created this culmination point, this arrival point, this happiness that's promised after the lightning comes in at the tower, right? It's what you create through the ashes. You've already created this in the quantum field. You already know this is here. You're just going on the journey for the sheer joy of it, the sheer experience of it, the adventure of it, what it awakens in you. You know where you end up. This is already promised. It's already secured. And it's not losing connection with that vision that is your ally at this time. It gives you a lot of strength, okay? What is the lay of the land on the way in the north node? That came up quickly. Oh, look at this. I can't make it up. Happiness landing right in your lap. Why? Because you shed away all of the shackles of the past. You're not carrying that heaviness with you like it's a shroud. You're not haunting your own life. You're coming back to life. You're feeling your vigor return. You're feeling that youthful spirit return. You're feeling like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to step into the light. There's joy here. There's happiness here. There's also you really feeling like this is who I am. This represents who I am. And there's this feeling of true fulfillment. This is beautiful. Come on. You got the 10 of Cups coming in with the sun. Your dreams are not fantasy. They are reality. They're already here. You could have a Leo connected to your situation here. Okay. This is about a playful spirit awakening in you. This is the adventure of the journey as you move ahead. You're experiencing the enthusiasm. That's a wonderful quality to come forward here. I like it. Let me do a cut of the deck on that. Just get some more details here. Look at that. Wheel of Fortune. Yes. See, because you transform the trickster energy here. I love it the way that comes in. You've transformed the trickster energy, and that's what's turning the wheel here. And again, fixed sign energies factor strongly in this cycle for you. Okay. So Leo, big time. Leo's come in real strong. Taurus, you've had Taurus come in very strongly. Your energy front and center, and Scorpio as well. You got some Scorpio energy in here too. Okay. This is Sagittarius energy. Some of you could be dealing with an Ophiuchus. They carry that register that's both Scorpio and Sagittarius. They are Sagittarians born November 30th to December 18th. Okay. Ophiuchus season could be prime time when this sort of turning of fortune occurs here, and you find that your destiny is really activated. There might be some kind of secret knowledge that comes through at this time that solves a riddle for you, and you find the way through. You get your directional coordinates that allows you to line up the past with those future timelines, and they fuse in the eternal now. And that's what blazes the trail all the way to the sun. All right. This is really cool energy here. Okay, so this is good. I like what I'm seeing here. The lay of the land looks good, man. One foot in front of the other, one brick at a time, as you lay down that yellow brick road that leads to that place called home. That place called home. You arriving, really landing in your element. Yes, your sun sign, you know. This is speaking really strongly for those of you that are Aquarius sun sign, sun natives, man. Okay. It's a grand adventure opening up for you here. I dig it, man. This looks really good. Okay, let's check it out. What is the beef then? Because this all looks good to me. This is all gravy, baby. So what's the beef? What's the meat of the matter? Gravy goes really good with meatloaf. Is it one of those matters? I'll do anything for love, but I wouldn't do that. Possible. It's possible. Let's see. What's the beef? What's the beef? Poof. Well, it's not your beef. It's the beef everybody else has had with you, and you're kind of tired of it, man. You're tired of having people turn on you. You're tired of having to defend yourself. You're tired of having to always like look over your shoulder, you know, watch your back. I feel like you went through some real painful stuff here. You felt betrayed in some cases. You also felt like it was a real low point. Like, how do you get up from this? Okay. But it came from other people and the way their truths conflicted with yours, you know. And that's the thing. We have to learn that, you know, there's no absolute truth in this world of dualism. There just isn't. Humans don't have access to that. We just don't. We have our egos. So we all have our little T truths, and we have our subjective experiences that define that truth. And absolute truth is really when you recognize that everybody's truth is partially true and partially false, and that place of absolute truth is a little bit of all of it mixed together here, you know. But these are people who almost wanted you to conform to their truth. No, you have to see it the way I see it. It's my truth, and your truth, because it doesn't match up with mine, well, it's not valid. You dealt with a lot of this, a lot of backbiting energy in relation to this, the way your truth conflicted with others. Okay, let's get some more details about this. What is the beef? What is the meat of the matter? And maybe that's what you couldn't do for love, even for love. I'll do anything for love, but I'm not going to sacrifice my truth for it. Screw you. No? Okay, good for you. You shouldn't sacrifice your truth for love. No. That ain't love. That's not freedom. That's a gilded cage, man. Okay, so let's see what is the beef. Oh my gosh. Really? Oh, it's all of this. Look at how much this is. I mean, let's just read them off really quickly here. Okay, we have the 6 of Cups, something from the past, soulmate gone wrong, you know. You were really committed to this, you were invested in this. Could have been with this Queen of Pentacles energy, because we do see the King of Pentacles here in reverse. Whatever this was, you didn't feel valued. You felt taken advantage of. You felt like maybe you weren't so smart back there when you invested in this direction. It wasn't a give and take here. Somebody just took and took and took and took and took, and it didn't pour back into you at all. It was repeated heartache. It was a repeat cycle. Make up to break up, make up to break up, make up to break up. Now it's on, now it's off. Okay. It's kept you in a place of just like stagnancy, like a holding pattern here. Ultimately, you decided to spill out this cup. You didn't want it. You decided it's a gross cup. I'm going to purify it. I'm ready for the cauldron of Dagda. I'm ready for something more fulfilling, something that nourishes not just me, but all those I love. Okay, this could have also had something to do with the Queen of Cups energy. We did have that water sign energy come in, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, manipulative energy operating in the reverse. Big Pisces energy here with the Hangman in reverse. Once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. You might have had to do some digging around to find it with the Page of Swords in reverse. You might have gone through some sort of, questionable channels to get your hands on some information about a particular character. But once you did, it cut you free from where you were hung up here with this Piscean energy, because maybe it revealed to you that you had been emotionally manipulated by someone in this situation. Oh, yes. And I think it was hard for you. It was really difficult for you to acknowledge that you viewed somebody as false. You viewed somebody as false that was actually true with the Empress energy here. There was some kind of distortion here that was put on an Empress counterpart energy, all right? This kept you in the South Node for quite a while, reliving past cycles. Empress energy, Taurus energy, Libra energy there. I also feel that's speaking very strongly of Libra South Node. This has been like a repetitive karmic cycle on repeat, repeated tower after tower after tower after tower. Constant, like shoving the lies in your face until it had to get really dramatic for you to see that this was a little bit of self-sabotage. This is why you were not achieving some kind of alignment you were hoping to receive here. You may have felt like your demons had taken over and your angels were somewhere out in left field. I feel like there was a lot that was out of balance here. In some cases, somebody that you felt really connected to, somebody that you wanted to have a new beginning with, okay, they could have been very imbalanced. This could have been related to some kind of drinking issue, okay? I see that with temperance in reverse. A lot of times that can indicate that alcoholism could be playing a role here, or maybe that's a foundational matter. Maybe alcoholism's in the family, so there's been patterns of codependency that have developed, okay, and it's filtered into the relationship experience. Sagittarius energy coming in there as well. We also have your energy very strong with the Tower, as well as Aries energy, some Scorpio mixed in there as well. We do have the Hierophant in reverse. That's Taurus in reverse. This is also recognizing, no, the foundation is faulty. Nothing can be built on this. It's a false foundation. It's a trapping. You see, there's keys there that are meant to be obtained, that's set to free. But this is when it becomes a restrictive influence. So this is like, I need to buck tradition. I need to go rogue. I have to cast off these shackles. I can't continue forward in this way anymore. This caused a lot of suffering. It caused a lot of suffering. It caused a lot of anxiety. This is recognizing that the foundation is faulty. What I thought was built to last is crumbling. This can be the ending of a spiritual path, like a way of approaching your spirituality. This can be something that disrupts the family. This can be something that disrupts a marriage. This can be shifting your whole identity or radically bucking with tradition in some way that has you sort of repressing it initially out of fear. Fear, how do I move forward in my truth when my truth is going to cause a lot of rupturing of the structures in my life. There was so much indecision around this, around moving away from what was causing you suffering so much, okay? This is the beef of the matter. This is the foundation here. And there's been a great deal of imbalance in this situation, so much fluctuation of emotions, choices. This is being paralyzed by fear because you know what is required to move forward and the ruckus it's going to cause. And so trying to restrain oneself from doing what needs to be done, which only churns up the emotional waters even more, starts stirring up stuff from the subconscious and just makes it impossible to be balanced, even in the material world. Okay, this is severe imbalance here, especially with Temperance and with Two of Pentacles coming up in reverse. Somebody may be dealing with some serious imbalance in this situation and they need support. But I think this is what the reality is. This prison is self-imposed. And there's something here about a refusal to face the fear of really living by this truth that you've arrived at, that is that gilded cage, okay, that you need to be aware of. I see you springing a lock on it though, okay? And that is the point. That is the purpose. Taking the power back in your hands and setting yourself free here. Cutting off an influence that's been stealing too much of your time, your energy, your focus. It's keeping you in this repetitive cycle of lack, of loss, of pain, restriction, and it's not necessary. It's not necessary. And in fact, this individual who's needing support here can't have it as long as you're kind of enabling it. That's how it's coming through. Right? That's intense. Okay. What are the consequences that Aquarius has to deal with as a result of their past actions as they move forward toward their destiny? What are the consequences that Aquarius will have to deal with as a result of their past actions as they move forward in this situation in spirit? What are the consequences Aquarius will have to deal with as a result of their past actions? You need to have strength to come up and out with the truth. Look, the Empress energy is there. The Empress energy is there tempering the burdens of the past. Right? This is about facing the fear, having the courage to face the fear, having the courage to face what you didn't have the strength to face in the past. Again, a Leo could be factoring into the situation. It's coming in again. Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come in here. What are the consequences? And you do have the strength to do this. Strength on the scene assures that you have what it takes to overcome this challenge you're facing here in relation to your past. You will get beyond it. You have to believe it though. You already have the power. It's in your hands. You need to believe it though. It's very important here. Yeah, look at this. See? And there's the activation of your 10th house. There's the activation of your North Node. There's everything coming into alignment. You have such positive cards here. This is your due. This is your legacy. I mean, it is legacy energy. You're setting the tone for the future right now, Aquarius. You're going to activate your North Node. You have to. It's your destiny. It's why you're here. But it does require you facing something that held too much power over you in the past. You weren't strong enough then, but you have the wisdom now. The knowledge is going to awaken in you. And you will face this. And you will balance it. And you will master it. Let's see what the power you will gain through that self-mastery. What is the power that Aquarius will gain through this self-mastery, Spirit? What is the power that Aquarius will gain through this self-mastery, Spirit? Ooh, I like it. You are creating a whole new world from the ground up. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Ooh, this is so interesting, this energy. Yes, because you're the foundation. So it's like, it's all the awakening energy is rising up with you. Rising up. It's like uprising energy. That's what's coming through here. The power to be gained through mastery is uprising. Collectively, certainly, with you leading the charge there, but it's also how that's resonating for you in your personal life. It's uprising. I think that's it. Let me see, one more round. Is that it? I think so, kind of the deck. Whoo! Oh, I see. Now we're in it. Now we're bringing the fire forward, aligning with the right people too. You're forward thinkers. You're ready for this uprising. You're ready to level up. You're coming into alignment with people who share your daring, your adventurous spirit, to see through a challenge to the end, to get to the sweet reward. This is really like owning your fire. Beautiful energy here. Really an independent energy in a place of empowerment. I like it. You could be dealing with a Leo. You could be dealing with a fire sign energy. We had Sagittarius come out pretty strong. We've had Aries come out strong too. We've got all the fire signs here. Okay, so they can factor into your situation where you have fire in your chart. Work with that fire. Those are strong suits for you right now. Pay attention to the fire sign houses, the first house. Okay, so how you're showing up, how you're presenting yourself, being the initiator, taking charge of situations. That's that Aries energy of the first house. Leo is the house of pleasure. It's the house of fun. It's the house of, tapping into just like, the joy of life, the joy of being alive, not taking things so seriously, letting your hair down a bit, be a little footloose, fancy free. Sagittarius, excuse me. Oh. Does somebody not want you to have fun? Is somebody trying to cut off your fun? Whoa, the blocking energy. Somebody doesn't want you to have your fun. No. Oh my goodness. That's pretty intense. That's pretty intense. The way that blocking came in, somebody does not want you to have your fun. They don't want you to open up to this time in your life. Did somebody try to do a number on your self-esteem here? Did they? Did they try to affect your view of yourself? Somebody doesn't want you to feel like this independence, this self-assurance, this confidence, this playfulness, this fun. House of Sagittarius. It's about having optimism, enthusiasm, being the comeback kid, being able to rise to a challenge, being an adventurer, wanting to explore, wanting to branch out, expand your reach, move into expansion, and also, whether they like it or not, you just got dumb luck, okay? So look at those houses and look at any placements you have with those signs. They're factoring in here. But with that blocking energy to come in with that Queen of Wands energy, you could have some oppositional energy coming in here from a Queen of Wands. Maybe they like their independence. They like to be able to do their thing, but for one reason or another, they feel like they should have some control over your choices or some ability to kind of like restrain your urges here. I mean, a Queen of Wands too, when we're looking at Empress energy here, you know, this can also be an Empress that was thrown in reverse by a Queen of Wands. So in some cases, this is a lover that's infiltrated a committed relationship, okay? That could be a little tripping point there. Yeah. It's coming through in relation to your power, okay? So something to be mindful of. That's pretty wild. Yeah. Knight of Wands here. Okay, this is a little bit of sort of like a very passionate kind of, let's have a good time kind of energy. This could be somebody too that you do need to be aware of about being able to step into your power. Yes, do dive in, enjoy yourself as you're moving forward here. But be aware of the way that others manipulate through their powers of sexuality, the ways that they use their fire in distorted ways that could rob you of the potency of your power, okay? There was just way too much blocking that came in there out of nowhere. More clues about this power, please. Gain through self-mastery. So maybe you need to kind of like temper your desire to take the bait so quickly just because it looks tempting. We got Page of Wands energy coming out here again. Yeah, because there's something hidden under the light of the moon with this. All right? Not all is up front here. So this does remind you, remember what you've learned, moving through times of integrating shadow here. Remember to trust your intuition here, because there is something that's concealed. You very well could be dealing with a fire sign in relation to this. It's coming through very strongly, and you'll probably hear something from this person. And maybe that's what you need to do. You need to see through the illusion with this person so you can take your power back. They might be holding on to some of it. And you have to sort of master your impulses, maybe restrain some of your urges a little bit, for instant gratification with this character in order to get your power back. Okay. It might take a lot of mastery on your part, I have to say. That was really wild. Okay. What's at stake for you and those that you are going to be journeying forward with on this path? What's at stake for you, Aquarius, and those you will be journeying forward with on this path? So we do know you have some oppositional energy. This is a little bit of a tricky energy. I think you've tripped up this way before with this character. Yeah, see? What's at stake? This growth, what you've been working to see for the future here, this growth, this coming into alignment, this being truly in your element, prospering, leading the way forward here. This is what's at stake for you and those you care about here. Your sense of personal value, the ways that you've strengthened yourself, the ways that you've empowered yourself. See, if you're not in that position, then we're all going to suffer as a result. Because of the collective energy, There's something here about really remembering how much you've grown, okay? And using that to sort of shape the way you move forward here, rather than just defaulting to the pleasure of the moment. There's something about looking more with a sense of what you're leaving behind, and how that can trail behind you at times and weigh you down moving forward. Okay? Yes. Let go. Let go because of this truth you've had to come to rest upon here. Let go so that what's truly needed can come into view. And this is you looking across that cauldron of Dogda to that distant shore. And there's something here that you're leaving behind. I think what you're leaving behind is sort of like ways that in the past you used to think about just what was good for you. Like, this is good for me in the moment. This gives me instant gratification. I'm all in. I'm going to go for it. And you're like, no, that doesn't work. The only way through and the only way to get across and gain that empowerment of the cauldron of Dagda is that I have to make sure we all get there, which means I have to consider the other two. So there's a balance and perspective that's coming in here, and I like that. But you will be tempted. Okay, I feel that. That is coming through. But it's important that you don't act out of just self-interest here. It's important that there's a tempering that takes in more of a broad view in this kind of situation, okay? And that's what really will allow the movement forward, the road to truly open here. Okay, what's at stake? What's at stake for this new world that Aquarius wants to bring into being, this dawning of this age of Aquarius? What's at stake for the new world that Aquarius wants to bring into being? Well, it's a lot of work bringing this in, and it is burden. There's a lot you're carrying here. It's a lot of responsibility. So if you're already taking this on in carving the way forward here, Aquarius, you want to make sure that your work is not wasted, right? Let's see what I got here. What's at stake? What's at stake? Finding that way through. It's interesting how the block is right in front of the water. We talked about the cauldron of Dagda, finding the way through to healing. I know that your journey here is a journey of healing. And it involves a lot of letting go. And it involves a lot of transformation and getting a different perspective on the situation. And it has to encompass the view of the other as well here in order for the blocks to be lifted and the healing to come through here. And so this is something that's really essential in this situation, that you allow yourself to be guided spiritually in this matter. In other words, it's about really trusting what's coming up in your soul around this, what feels right. When you get out of your head around it and all the circular arguments and all the resistances, what's really at the heart of this matter here? Okay. Maybe it's, do I really want to heal it? Maybe you need to get clear about that. Because if you're still in a place where you're undecided and yet you decide to enter that water and initiate the transformation, it can create a lot of complication. There's something about once you enter that water and you start to head toward that distant shore, you need to make sure that you have the endurance to make it to the other side. A lot depends on it. A lot hinges on it. So you need to make sure that this is in alignment for you. And I see you activating it. You're activating that cauldron of Dagda. You see, you got that point of impregnating the new world is already in your hands. You got the fire. You got the spear of Lu. And I see you activating it by bringing it into that Ace of Cups, that cauldron of Dagda. It's the transformational point. You can get something cooking, but you got to know how to stir the pot in the right way. This is the alchemical moment where you're going to break through those blocks and you're going to find the way through. You're going to recognize the way that you have been blocking this healing that you want to see transpire. And it has something to do with investment. You can't be half-assed with this. You got to be all in with this. I think you're going to find the courage, though, to make that transformation possible here. And that's important. You see, because I had a vision come in a long time ago with that cauldron of Dogda energy that we're all in that water together. And we all have to get to the other side. Because if we don't all get to the other side, all is lost. Right? So I like that you're recognizing this shift in perspective. You're starting to take in views that maybe you weren't able to take in before. You're seeing another's position, why they might feel the way they do. It's bringing about a very important transformational point here. Okay, what's the cookie for Aquarius as they head forward here, Spirit? What is the cookie for Aquarius as they head forward, Spirit, down this path? What is the cookie? What is the cookie for Aquarius? What is the sweet reward that comes in through them taking the initiative and activating this point of transformation? It doesn't just benefit them, but it looks like many others. And of course, collectively too. So what is coming in here for Aquarius? What is the cookie? Look at that. You still get your self-gratification after all. This is having it all. This is beautiful. This is the activation of your dream. Remember, it's already there. You already mocked it up in quantum reality, and here it is. It's waiting for you, just like you knew it would be. There's like this sense of self-assurance here that's really going to start to get rooted in you. I see that. All right, we've got one final thing to figure out here, and that's your target. So what should be Aquarius's target during this particular lunar cycle that will come to culmination with that new moon and kick off the opening of the road to the stone of destiny? I mean, I see you diving into that water. It looks like you're diving into that water. You're deciding something's worth the swim. Something's worth it. Maybe you didn't think it was worth it before. Maybe you realize you were sabotaging yourself. You feel like it's worth it now. Okay, check it out. What should you be aiming for with that new moon? There's something you're going to see there. We know that. It is an activating point for you that opens up the hidden path. So what should Scorpio, I'm going to call you Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Scorpio in this situation. I think that energy is just, you got Pluto is going to go back in your sign. So of course it is, okay? There's something about that point, like from November 19th forward, that's going to be a really potent time for you, okay? Let's check it out. What should your target be? What should you be aiming for? Yep, making that investment. You got the power in your hands. All you need to do is activate it. All you need to do is make the investment. If you do, your world's going to look quite different by the time you arrive at the springtime in 2025. You'll see more growing from your investment than you ever imagined possible. That's what I got. Let me see if there's any other details that want to come in around this. Okay, got something there. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Perfect alignment. Looks like you make it home. Looks like you got somebody arriving there with you. There's celebration. Looks like you made it. It looks like, at the end of a triathlon, you come into that, home stretch there. You're greeted with flowers, appreciation. There's like big celebration. It's got that vibe. Perfect alignment here. Gorgeous energy. And you had the power in your hands all along to dream this dream. And see, it all comes into view when you bring in the view of another. And together, your energies bring something that has quite a ripple effect, I have to say. This is beautiful. Transformation coming in on a heart-centered level. Oh, yeah, and you're going to be moving forward so fast. Give it 8 weeks. 8 weeks tops. You will be moving forward. It's going to get very active. Expect a lot of communication. There's also a sure sense of direction in matters of the heart and how to bring about a healing where you thought all was lost. Quite a resurrection.